Welcome to the Reunion Podcast, where traction, nourishment, and thriving in business and life come full circle. We're your hosts, the founders of Reunion, and each week we're going to sit down with incredible entrepreneurs from our community to shine a light on their stories, the bold moves that create real traction, and the raw truth behind their challenges and wins. If you're ready to be inspired, grow alongside a powerful network, and see what it really takes to thrive, you're in the right place. If you'd love to be a guest on the show, head to thrivewithreunion.com to join the movement. And don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. All the links are in the show notes. Now let's dive in.
Okay, so welcome out. If you're watching this video, wherever you're at, you're wondering, why am I even paying attention to these people? And we're wondering that same thing too. But the reality is, the four of us came together and had this idea that we should do this thing called Reunion. And so let's talk a little bit about it, how that all come about, and maybe even share a little bit about the kind of the core values behind it. So, Matt, since you're the oldest and wisest of the group,
obviously,
you're the tallest. So maybe we just have you start us off. Any thoughts on this whole idea of Reunion, of how, looking back now, how it all began? For some people that are watching this, they're like, I don't even know what this thing is.
Yeah. So all of us have met wonderful, amazing people, friends, business partners, clients, people that service our business's needs as well, through other networking events, and that we've all gone to. Whether that's unnamed this one or an unnamed that one, we've all gone to these events, and some are great and some are not. And so through that time, we've met the most amazing people, and we just wanted to continue to nurture those relationships with more people, get to know more people. So Jessica's had her own group of people, masterminds, and you've had your own group of people. I've had my own group of people, masterminds. So we all have done this at a level where we are the single point person that's like bringing a group together. And for me, I wanted to start this with amazing friends like Dianna, like you, Aaron, and like with Jessica, because you guys have networks of people that are outside of my network, and I have people that are outside of your network. And for my mastermind that I did for 6 years, it was all the people that I knew. And I knew everybody, and I was the only person that didn't get to meet somebody new every time. And so I was like, hey, if I could meet Jessica's extended network and I could meet everyone else's extended network, that would be ideal for me. And that was the reason that I thought that this seemed like a great idea. Other than just having a place for us all to meet together, to train, to learn, professional development, personal development, and to share in this path of entrepreneurship with one another. Everyone has these different experiences, and the culmination of all the experience together just really accentuates or accelerates our company's growth, our individual growth. So that's why I was interested in it. How about you, Aaron? Why were you interested in starting Reunion?
Throwing right back at me.
Yeah. And then we'll go to the ladies. We should have started ladies first. But you started on me, and so now I'm going to kick it back to you.
The nice thing is that we get to throw out the answers, and then they'll give us the correct answers afterwards.
Yeah,
so
that sounds like my marriage. That's perfect.
It's perfect.
You've been married for a while, right?
25 years, yeah.
Yeah,
I get how that works.
Well, Diana, I'll pass the baton to you next.
Okay.
And so, even though Matt asked me, I'm going to pass it on to you, because I think we should have some of you guys share a little bit.
Well, we're all going to get a chance to share.
But the people that are watching this online, they're like, dude, we don't hear about them. Let's just hear from these ladies.
All right, Diana, go ahead.
And very similarly, I think about how rich my life, the trajectory of the richness of my life excelled when I really started networking. I have long thought how fun it is to lean into any situation because I know I have a network behind me. My favorite thing to say is, I got a guy. Like when somebody comes in with a need, to be able to say, I know exactly who you need, and it's because of that network. And I love also mixing it up. Like you said, I love meeting somebody new, finding out what their strengths are, finding out what they need, but also finding out what they have to offer.
Yeah.
So that I just get all of that more ammo in my artillery to say, man, there isn't anything that we can't solve. I thought about this the other day. There is literally nothing that we can't solve because of our network.
Yeah.
We know somebody, and that's power. And so in this time stage where our state is going to grow, our valley is going to grow exponentially, and business is going to come and I want this valley to be ready for that growth, and I want to prepare people. And so the impetus for me in starting this was, I want to provide an opportunity where people are going to grow, where people are going to know people, that their networks are going to grow. And it was like, this is the 3 other people I could never have dreamed would be a possibility to have that as an opportunity. So.
Yeah, and it's not that we all had extra time just laying around
No.
to go start another new business, right?
Yeah,
This
that's a
wasn't
no.
like, oh, we have just, tons of spare time, so let's go do this.
But it's the desire to really lift.
Well, it's become a priority for all of us, right? Because it is so important that we pull this group of people together, and the people we've been able to pull in, to me, is like, hey, they also see it. When we talk to them after events or during events, they're like, man, this is what it's supposed to feel like. This is what it's supposed to be when you get together with people have your back, that you trust, that you love, that you want to help, and they want to help you. And there's just this effect that comes from that core group of people where no one's going to go behind your back and try to steal your idea or try to say, they're not saying bad things about each other behind your back. Like sometimes you have those types of events you go to and you're like,
It's a little cutthroat.
I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I got to skid out of here. But
No, and I've even noticed that after the events that we've had, at every table that I've been able to be a part of, I have been lifted. I have been inspired. And it's because of the caliber of people that are coming.
yeah,
And because you were at that table.
that helps too, for sure.
Damn right.
Definitely.
All right, let's hear from Jessica.
That's the secret. Like whatever table. So if you're gonna come to one of our events, sit at her
with
table.
Dianna.
Because our other
the lesson
tables,
learned.
they're pretty lame. But her tables,
Awesome.
guaranteed.
Guaranteed
the best
breakthrough.
ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where's Dianna sitting? That's where I'm
That's
at.
that's the best seat in the spot. What about for you?
I echo that. I mean, I've known Dianna how long? 20 years?
25 years.
I mean, we were just kind of drawn to each other. I think the same with
Yes.
all of us, right? Like, I love people. I love gathering people. I think that's one of each of our core strengths is gathering people, which is why I think we naturally came together. Because you've been doing it on your own. I've been doing it. We've all been doing it in different ways through our own businesses.
Yeah.
So it felt like there was a need. Maybe there was a pain point that needed to be filled.
Mm-hmm.
And through conversation, we were like, hey, I think we need to bring people together.
Yeah.
And I know for me, I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for 27 years, which dates me.
Well, the fact
But I
that
was always-
you're 29 is amazing.
Amazing. It's
two-year-old,
amazing.
Whole life.
It's 2 year old
Yes, I'm
starting a
finally
business.
2-year-old. I was just always encouraged to network and get out there because entrepreneurship, it does feel lonely sometimes.
Yep.
Especially if you don't have a partner, if you're a solopreneur or a brand new entrepreneur. Even if you have a partner, you're still just learning. So I was just always encouraged by my dad to get out and network with people outside of your industry, in your industry. There's blue ocean everywhere, like learn from each other, lift each other up, find people that are doing it and that want to do it, and just surround yourself with those people.
Yeah.
So I think for me, networking has been such an incredible tool in my business career. So now being part of Reunion, I think you said, Reunion's kind of like going to a class reunion and bringing everyone
that's the
together,
whole
like
idea.
a family reunion.
Yeah.
Class reunion, going and bringing people together
Yeah.
that just want to spend time with each other and lift each other up.
Yeah, the idea for me was some people we lose track of, and it's been years and years and years since you've seen them, and then we invite them back to this, and they come and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
and we just pick up where we left off, right? It's not like we have to start at square one again. Do I like this person? Do I trust this person? What do I know about this person? We just pick up where we left off, and I think that's kind of been the overall feeling of everyone who's coming, is that the people that they already knew, they were like, oh, this is fantastic. There's this camaraderie, friendship, and almost like a sibling kind of a feeling with some of these people. And for the people that you're meeting that are new, you know that the room is full of that quality of people, so it's a safe space. You can instantly trust that they're going to be a good person. They're going to have your best interests at heart. They're going to have some good input for you. They're going to be able to help you in your business, and they want to. No one's passing business cards around, and no one's trying to gain business for themselves. It truly feels like everyone's trying to help each other. And the biggest problem that I think we have as business owners is asking for help or letting people know that we need help. Like, everyone wants to grow their business, right? That's a given. But no one's like, I really need you to help me with this. But if we don't know how we can help people, we don't know what people are struggling with, then we don't know how we can help those people. And I think because of the core group of people that are here, the members of Reunion, all understanding that simple fact that we all want to help each other, but we just have to know how to. And then people are just diving in and giving their all.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, wait.
Okay, Aaron.
Yep, Aaron. I'm
No,
passing
good.
the baton.
That's good. I echo a lot of the things you guys have said. I think the challenge we run into oftentimes as leaders in our various companies is that it is a lonely road, kind of what Jessica said, and I think it becomes like this weird world because when you are in a leadership position, you have your employees and the people that you're working with, or maybe your vendors that are all watching you, and they're expecting you to be able to have success. But at the same time, you're in this world where you're going to be failing as you find more success. And so can you be around other people that you can be able to have some authentic conversations, that you can have maybe some people who have been in that season of life already, and you can kind of fast track yourself to get to a different place. And I think that's one of the key pieces of the journey, is that it's so easy to maybe just kind of battle it on your own and just kind of hold back. And I think what happens oftentimes as entrepreneurs is we're on this road to get to our destination, and it's so easy to start to look at all the little side roads, like little shortcuts and various ones, and be like, oh, maybe I could take this shortcut. And what I have found over time is that often the shortcuts are just dead ends. What I need to do is just get through the traffic, and the best way for me to get through the traffic is by having maybe a passenger step into my vehicle and be the ability to get into the fast lane or the HOV lane and get me to where I want to go. Mm-hmm. And what I think the whole premise behind Reunion is set up is where you have the ability to have some people step into your vehicle to help be able to give some guidance. They're not going to drive it for you, but you can have some people who have been down the road, and they've been in various different stages of success. But the various stages of success are just the breakthroughs past failure. And if you can have people share their failures and have a place where they feel comfortable enough sharing those things, it does open up some opportunities, because you can be able to say, oh, cool, maybe I'm imperfect, and it's kind of cool to be around imperfect people too, who are willing to share their imperfect journeys, because that gives me some guidance that I'm on the right track and I got to just continue moving forward. And so I love the concept of the vulnerability around it, because I think too often, too many groups, it is either positioning, where people come into the room and they try to position themselves as being perfect.
Yeah.
The
and
expert.
look how great I am.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have people come in and they're like more parasitic in nature, and like a vampire, they just suck the energy or the life out of the relationship before, and there's like, well, how can I bleed this relationship dry before even understanding what to do? And so having that like shift of approach, I think, is what makes at least the group that we've seen as they're coming together has been really impactful. It's inspiring. I walk away from every event, even if I'm sitting at Dianna's table or not, I still come away with some great insights. Even if it's a table without Dianna at it, like I've got some really great insights from it. So.
Just a couple of comments about that too. And I love looking for the people that are going to be the best passengers. So when I'm thinking specifically about people's journeys, and when you do get to know them a little bit, then I'm now on the search for who would be the best passenger in Aaron's Tesla. The other
Tesla?
thing,
Well, I'm
I
driving a
don't-
Tesla now?
No, well, it was self-driving because you
rumors
programmed
get
the Tesla so beautifully. One thing I have also noticed about entrepreneurs is that when we're alone, when we're siloed, it is that it's an echo chamber of genius, and you're in that for a long time. So then when the traffic jam hits, you're like, huh. So I love that analogy. That was fun. Mm-hmm. All right, it's not a Tesla. What are we driving?
Like a motorcycle with a sidecar.
Okay.
Put your goggles on.
So I need to look for a smaller person. Matt,
Just kidding.
you
I want-
cannot
I
get
sit
in
in the
his sidecar.
Is it a big sidecar? Is it an XL
With some
size
goggles and a scarf around. Hey,
Oh
it fits.
my gosh, is
Matt's-
this so much
that's
fun?
Matt's brand right
AI,
there.
I can see an AI image right now being made.
I
in
know.
a sidecar.
Please,
I
someone.
kind of feel like I'm in a sidecar in this little chair gainer.
You got
if I'm
sidekick,
honest.
you got sidecar. It's
This
all-
little tiny chair you
Yes.
got
Oh
here.
my gosh, that's
Squeezed
hilarious.
right in here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about our values. And
Core
kind of
values.
how we landed on. Well, I will just say, Aaron, loves
Yes.
acronyms.
I do love acronyms.
You do. I love that, and I love that you love acronyms because
It
you
is
like.
fun.
We put something down on paper, and so we came up with Traction, Nourish, and Thrive, and immediately Aaron's like
TNT, baby.
Yeah, TNT.
I love it though.
Yeah,
Explosive growth.
it's great.
It is.
So we started with traction. That was kind of the core. That was kind of the start of the whole thing. As we kind of shifted around the order to try to figure out, had to put the acronym. We had to have the right word.
Well, I
Any
would love
thoughts
to
on
know
that?
like what traction would mean from like each of you. Like when you think of traction, like what do you think of?
Well, I look at that. So I usually break words down in my mind when I look at them. So for me, I look at traction as I see the word action in it. And I see action and I see try action and like moving into action. And I think of the opposite word, which is distraction. And I think there are so many people in the world that get distracted to get to where they want to go. And we have so many things that pull our attention. And too often, I found this in my own life, is that I have so many tethers and things are pulling me in different directions that gets me distracted. And so if I can get back into doing the core things that actually give me traction, that is what, and the more simple it is, actually gives me the greatest success oftentimes. So that's kind of what traction, that would be my personal connection with that word.
Okay, I like that. I think of like grounded energy, like momentum, like intentional momentum, because sometimes momentum is not intentional, and you're like, whoa, hold up. But I think of like grounded energy and intentional, like momentum.
Like that.
And I think of off-roading in my truck. my Jeep.
That's fair.
I do
That's
too.
And
fair.
if you don't have traction on the
Yes.
ground, you're not going to go anywhere. At least not anywhere good. You're going to spin your wheels.
Yep.
Perfect. I like that. And without traction, it doesn't matter how much horsepower you have or how much torque you've got. But if you don't have traction, none of that other stuff matters. So.
What about you?
I'm a little bit more on the off-road where like just that dig in, like I know so much about where I want to go, but it's just having all of those, everything in place to just be able to dig in and just go.
Yeah.
Lean forward and go.
Yeah. Sometimes we spin our wheels. That's okay. Some days are that way. But yeah, you got to get back to it. Get back to it. 4 on the ground and off you go. Focus.
Shift.
Yep.
So moving to Nourish, who wants to start us off? You want to start us off with Nourish?
Probably, although when I was thinking specifically about that off-road digging in, it's nourishing, making sure that everything is fed so that when you do shift and you have that traction, that it's being fed what it needs. Like, so, in my background of making sure people are fed well so that their bodies can perform and do all the tasks, they have all the tools necessary, but you have to feed it, you have to give it the right nourishment.
Cool.
How about you?
For me, personally, I have like some thoughts around this last year where I found myself really focused on trying to help nourish so many people. And what I found is this lesson that was, I had spent so much time and money and effort to try to over-nourish people wherever they were at. And it was killing me financially and energy-wise and in every sort of way. And the mistake I'd made, as I look back on that, is I had passed up on my nourishment to make sure I was trying to nourish everybody else. And the image that I look at now as I look at my own business is the only way I can provide nourishment or have nourishment in my business is if I am fully nourished myself.
Fill up your cup first.
I have
right?
to. So the image I have in my mind is like a pitcher that's just overflowing, and the overflow is a bit of the stuff I can give out. But if I don't have that overflowing pitcher, it can become really easy for me to start dumping all the things out of the pitcher. And the outside world could care less if I was saying anything. I mean, they'll drain that pitcher dry, and then I would find myself in a rough spot. And I'll have some animosity for the people. How dare they take the stuff out of my picture, even though I've allowed that to happen. So nourishment to me is so critical of like, what are we doing for ourselves, and putting in almost like this approach where even though we're doing traction, building things up, are we nourishing and funding in our own selves to be able to give that back to everybody else, because it comes through us first to be able to impact others.
I love that. How about you?
I think in the Nourish space, I have to nourish myself. I have to nourish my business. I have to nourish my wife and my children. I have a lot of responsibilities of people that are counting on me to provide that nourishment. And usually I'm the one that I get to worry about last. And so I think we just get drained sometimes, like what you're saying, if we don't have the forethought or the priority to make sure that we're also getting what we need out of personal relationships, business relationships, spiritual, whatever that spiritual relationship is that we have, then it starves, and those relationships die. And so that's I love that that's one of our core values, is we can be that for all the business owners that are aggregating inside of Reunion, on at least the business side. On the personal side, we have those levels of relationships with people where we can nourish them as well, when they let us. But the family side, I mean, it has to be a balance, right? If you're so good at doing it for your business, like you did last year, you know, how was your personal? How was your health? How was your family life? You know, if we are so focused on one thing, and I think certain people, I'm not as good at multitasking. I'm really good at one thing at a time, and I think my ADHD plays in there a little bit. But I'll focus super good and hard on one thing, and the other things are just kind of an afterthought for a while. And so that nourish and balance go hand in hand for me.
Cool.
Jessica?
When I think of nourish, I think of two things. I think of like mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, like nourishing yourself first in all those ways, and other people around you. Because I do believe, and I think I've learned that the hard way, putting myself first, right? As a parent, that doesn't always happen till later on in life when you're like, oh, what about my cup? You know, filling that up. And the other thought when I think of nourish is I literally think of like the ground, like the dirt, like the seeds, like what are we planting in the dirt? Because you're not going to grow a pumpkin if you put tomato seeds in there. And I think a lot of times people are surprised with what happens in their business, and it's like, well, what did you intentionally plant? What were you nourishing? And I think there's some intentional effort behind the word nourish for me. Like, what are we putting into the soil? What are we putting into the foundation to grow?
Yeah, interesting. Like almost like the input creates the output, right?
Almost.
And so people are surprised by the output.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Can't believe this happened. Like, well, you did the stuff to make that happen.
Yeah.
Well, and I think a lot of times we're not aware of what the depletion has been. We're in the middle of a situation and we are unaware of what's lacking. And so awareness is 100% the most important thing.
Yeah.
So that that's where you start and you're like, okay, now I can work on that. So, and I love that we have situations where we actually present like what could be lacking, what could be a nutrient that you need. Because sometimes we have no idea. Like we just run 100 miles an hour and then you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm out of energy.
Yeah, because that growing piece needs water and sunlight and nutrition and all those things, right?
Minerals and vitamins.
Yeah. Weird.
We just
Weird,
don't even
right?
know.
So, yeah. And then thrive.
You want to kick us off?
For Thrive?
Woohoo!
Well, when you said overflow, I think of overflow when I think of thrive, which I think is great that you think of that in Nourish as well, right? An overflow of an abundance mentality. I think thrive for me is like when everything's in alignment. Like when everything, like all your business, all your family, like everything is like into that alignment space, then I feel like thrive happens, abundance happens, overflow happens, forward movement happens. So that's what I think of when I think of thrive.
Cool.
How about you, Matt?
Well, you never get to thrive if everything else isn't working properly, right? I think that's what we all look for, is this flow where it's just like, it's working so well and it doesn't even feel like you have to put in a ton of effort. It's happening and everything's working well. All the parts are well oiled. It's a well-oiled machine. You're running. You got plenty of traction. You got plenty of horsepower. You got plenty of torque. You're taking care of all the different areas of your life that are in balance, And that's when Thrive happens. And it doesn't happen for everybody at the same time. If you have how many ever children, you always have something that's a little pulling you this one way, and it's keeping you from feeling like you're in that flow state. But that's life. We're complex. We have so many different things that pull our attentions, and they have to, we have priorities that shift all the time. We can say, this year I'm going to focus on this one thing, and you get into the year, and you don't even have time to focus on that one thing. So I think with all three in perfect balance, Thrive is the outcome from having good traction, having nourished the relationships and the parts of your business and parts of your personal life that needed your attention. So
I love that.
I went to since I'm in his car and we have good traction.
You talking about our couch right now?
Yes.
Our couch of traction?
Your analogy of the car, it's like, all of these other things, and now decisions are made, and let's shift and let's go over to the HOV and let's just go. Let's see how far can we drive before we need to make some new decisions or whatever. I just love that analogy of let's shift. I like to go fast.
yeah.
And it's that lean. In fact, look at me. I'm just like, let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, that whole concept of Thrive, right? I mean, it's going to be for different people, whatever the meaning of Thrive is, and like that's kind of like symbolic of success. So people think, well, I'm thriving in these different things, and I think the hard part with Thrive for so many people is like, when is enough enough? But I would say that the thing with Thrive for me is the external is oftentimes a reflection of the internal, and our business is a reflection of the life that we have right now, and the pressure that we have is in our roles of helping to put the reunion group together is it causes us to have to lead out in a lot of these different things, because if we're not focused on traction and nourishment and thriving in our own lives, we're kind of like that's a kind of a lame place to be for us, and to gather a group together. So it does put an amount of pressure on us to model some of those different things and to lead out and to show where like the different struggles are in our own businesses, and then being around people who are authentic enough to go through that journey too, because it's an imperfect process. But I think that's where the real beauty is that how fast you can like start to move and how many lives you can impact. And like I think Thrive really becomes like a radiating out effect of whatever impact you're having in your own life to now impact your family's lives, the community lives, your employees and their lives, like all the different things. There's so many different people who will resonate from the lighthouse that we become when we're thriving there, because that's the energy from all the other things that really light that up to give us the glowing, compelling lifestyle. Because and the reality is, people are going to be like compelled to be around us because they're going to like be inspired by the lifestyles that we have. And if we can start to show the things that are working well, then it does inspire people to go through, because sometimes the traction is, it can be work. Nourishment's not easy. And even like the moments of Thrive, I don't know if that's like a long-term thing. It's like it's like a battery that's there for a little while, and then it has to be like recharged again, because it's not like you get to Thrive and you're like, well, I made it. Whew. Yeah. Done.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Until we're in the HOV and then we come upon somebody who's going 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's like slow lane, middle lane, fast lane, super fast lane. HOV lane's supposed to be even faster, right? Because it's on the left.
But then we're in Utah, so there's like that person left lane.
They actually go the regular speed limit.
Oh my gosh, so many pet peeves right now.
It's just
we're all really nice people unless you drive bad, and then we all hate your guts. So.
Having just driven from St. George into Idaho, I'm like,
Which is why one of the biggest things, if you ever want to join Reunion, we do watch your driving.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's a driving test to see if you can qualify.
If you can't get to the meeting on time, automatic problem.
We just check to see like how do you drive in which lane on the freeway.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's a quick,
How do you handle
easy,
traffic
how do you handle?
situations?
And
That's
it's
a
like
tell-all.
You get a
Oh,
score of
so
1 to
yeah.
10.
Just
Yeah.
when I thought we were
How
going to be
many
friends, you get in a car with
expletives
someone.
it-
You're like,
Did you cause us?
Yeah, people are like, I think I want to join. Like, well, let me drive with you for a little bit. Let's just see if they're a good fit.
If we're fit.
We're a good fit.
Actually,
That's
though,
the
mentally, I
process.
did go from a small Tesla to a ginormous bus. It's like, get on!
I think that's a way of like vetting people, though. If you see
Yes.
how they behave in traffic,
it would be
I
fascinating.
think that'd be really good.
Yeah.
I've always thought like if I could like going back historically, if I could find like with my spouse before when we
Oh.
dated.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I could have like gone to an airport and had our flight canceled and see how they behaved, just to watch to see, right? Or you hear those stories of people who are in the job interview and they intentionally have the wrong food brought to the person's like when they're sitting there to see how they behave.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
I think that's really
the
smart.
reunion driving test.
It
Here we
was.
go.
So fair warning to
Fair
the new
warning.
members
Fair warning.
that watch out for Aaron. He's always got something going on.
If somebody delivers you some bad food, just
Just
roll with
Smile
it.
and wave.
just know, that's great.
So we talked about why reunion. I think we should talk about why the podcast, because there's a lot of podcasts in the world, right? So why did we want to do a podcast? Anyone want to?
Well, I think similarly to how we do the training at Reunion, we want to spotlight the members and their brilliance in their areas where they've just put a lot of time and effort and have a lot of knowledge. We've had some wonderful trainings by Aaron.
Oh.
We've had wonderful trainings by Derek and Janae and Isaac and Matt Frisbee already.
good.
In a very short period of time, in a 6-month period of time, we've been well fed by the members. We don't want to spotlight the members, have people understand and get to know them, get to know some stories about them, and have a little bit of background on them outside of just meeting for lunch where we're all on our best behavior, right? Most of the time. But just to have some behind the scenes and get to know their personalities and get to know their expertise. That was the idea of the podcast for me,
Yeah.
and also of highlighting them in the trainings, and the mastermind as well, the deep dive. I think through the deep dive, we're really deepening these relationships to a point of deep trust, not just somebody that I went to a meeting with and have lunch with once in a while. We're getting down to some real core issues that people are dealing with, and they're asking for help, and the brain trust and the knowledge and the experience of the group really does shine through when you get those levels of relationships with people. So, anyone else?
Yeah, any thoughts
I
on
feel that. Like that's adding more value to the membership and highlighting them, just showcasing their talents and their trials. And I think what I talked about before was feeling lonely. I think hearing other people's stories, like not just their successes, but the trials and the challenges, the speed bumps, the heartaches, because I've learned over time, the strongest people I know have been through the hardest situations.
Yes.
And they came through that, and they are strong because of those trials, whether it's personal or business or all of the above, right? But I think talking about those struggles, talking about the challenges, talking about the bruises and the falls is really what people need to hear, that also, not just what is working well. Like, what are my critical issues? And people saying, this is what I did, like Isaac's story and what he went through, I think was great. How Matt shared. I love Janae's story. I just loved how, I love people sharing what's truly vulnerably on their heart authentically in the lunches and now on the podcast, and asking them questions, I think I learned so much from even just the conversation we had already. So that's why I wanted to do the podcast. I know there's a lot of podcasts though.
Yeah.
So making sure that we elevate the conversation and people are talking about what's working and maybe what wasn't working, what they would do differently.
Yeah.
And to add to that, for me, it is the opportunity to have a one-on-one with a member is really hard. We're having great conversations at our tables, but there are still 8 tables, 10 tables that I'm not going to get to. But that distractionless situation, or just that one-on-one hyper-focused, I get to hear you and your story, and then I get to share that with my friends. That's the impetus for me. I want people to be able to tell their story.
I feel that.
I think that's great. I mean, especially when you start to look at the whole concept behind that podcast, where you give them a platform and an ability to share their whatever it is that they've been able to overcome. I think it's interesting because you start to look at people in different various levels of success, and you kind of touched on this where, like, you see the success, and it's easy to want to ask them, like, well, what have you done to be so successful? And really the reality is, like, what have they overcome to get to that place? Like, what are the obstacles that they've had to overcome? And so I love the idea of the podcast kind of highlighting some of those obstacles that people have overcome. And then the trickiest part with that, in my mind, is too often our membership, the people in the group, like, their average, what they just do on a day-to-day basis is so normal to them, but it's someone else's excellence.
Yeah.
And they get so caught up with, like, well, it's just my thing. This is what I've done. This is what I've done forever. But that is what the amazing is what they do. And that's nothing to them, but it is something to so many. And so there will be people that will watch, and people have been inspired by it, and they'll hear the story, and they'll be able to see that. And a lot of people will be watching. Too often in our lives, we look at the obstacles that we have in front of us that are like this boogeyman that we've created in our mind. Like, they're not even real obstacles. We've just created them as here's this big thing that's out that's waiting for me. And when you see other people who have slayed the dragon, who have gone through that and they've been able to overcome the obstacles in their lives, you're like, oh, well, maybe my obstacle that I've mentally created is not really as bad, because here's someone who went through and made some amazing success because they overcame this obstacle that they had, and that obstacle is even more scary than the one I'm created in my own head. And so I love the idea of, like, being able to share some of those stories and have the group and the members be able to share that, and then just highlight them to the rest of the world. So.
Haven't you just been shocked at the trials that people in our, in our little reunion family?
Yeah.
I mean, I've just been shocked at what people are actually going through.
And have overcome.
And overcome.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty
Have
amazing.
overcome and are overcoming right now,
Yep.
right? What
They're in it
facing.
right now,
Yeah.
and it's hard.
And they're showing up.
And they're showing up, and even for other people.
Yeah.
Like, everybody has crap.
Yeah. So I think to wrap it up, we should talk about, like, what is to come. What should people expect on our podcast? Besides highlighting the members, like, just Aaron's crazy acronyms that we love so much.
Maybe some acronyms.
The questions.
Well, I mean, we're gonna have some fun. I mean,
Yeah.
like, people that watch future episodes will be able to get introduced to various different members and different people in the group, and hopefully get some guidance if people that are watching are in leadership roles, or they're, like, looking to aspire to be in leadership roles, or looking at connecting with other people. I think the podcast will give a view of the power of relationships, the power of sharing, of vulnerability, authenticity, and just the power of a group and how that can move so further along in someone's life than someone just trying to battle it out on their own.
And I think also a lot of these people, I think everyone, they're all after making an impact, knowingly or unknowingly. Like, just learning the impact people are making and how they can get involved too, and just what's going on in the world. In these small businesses that are doing some amazing, impactful things.
So good.
Yep.
Well, there we go. Feel good?
Episode 1, it's in the books.
Done.
Hey, just before we end, I just want to say that I could not be happier sitting on white couches.
In our studio
In
of
our
magic.
Studio space.
No, I am really grateful for you three, and just the combined level of the desire to lift. We're all different, but it is really cool to be with you, that I'm inspired by your desires to lift.
Oh, thank you. It's the same from all of us to everyone.
Yeah.
So.
Mutual love, respect, admiration.
What
between
an
all of us.
unlikely, likely partnership.
No
Really,
kidding.
truly.
It
How
just,
did you guys come together?
Who would have thought?
We don't
Who
know. We
would've
still don't
thought?
know. We're still unsure.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out eventually. So.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Reunion Podcast. We hope you're walking away with fresh insights, real stories, and that extra spark to keep building traction, nourishing your growth, and thriving big. If you've loved this conversation, hit that follow button so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like to join the movement, come sit at our table and be featured as a guest and share your story. Visit thrivewithreunion.com and stay connected with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. You'll find all the details in the show notes. Until next time, keep showing up, Stay connected and let's thrive together.